I'm just going to skip that last minute. Hi everyone. Also, Gulchen, this I don't know whether I feel worse now or when I woke up and heard the results from the election. Maybe now because I don't live in the US. Yeah. So, to bring a bit of cheer, I put up some Christmas lights behind me. Hopefully it helps. But yesterday I messaged some people about this already yesterday, late in the evening. I was so aggravated, so annoyed, and even mad yesterday because of the claims that were made in that video. And I have a history, as you know, with him. And I think this might be a life that I'm not even going to save on my channel. This is I need to get this off my chest. And I think a lot of people feel the same here. At least they have the same kind of view on being able to know the no cursing here, Gulchen. To be able to know the pigment numbers, the pigments used in the paint. And I fully agree, by the way, a watercolorist, a good paint absolutely makes a huge difference. And good paper as well, both of them, even a good brush. I mean, all bits of the experience that add to a whole. And every bit is almost as important. But especially, I can self-promote me. It's my channel. Looking at how some companies promote their stuff, I think just saying that high quality paint is the most important thing isn't that much of a self-promotion, actually. Yeah, so I noticed that at least Mr. Pigments isn't here, at least as far as I see. 3 or 4 people out of this little group of ours reacted on the post. They made an Instagram yesterday. And apparently they said that they don't use the genuine pigments, or not that one. I'm not really clear. It's, for me, it's very unclear, and for me it was very vague. And what was it about? Are you buying the real thing? Because, and I need to apologize for the noise of my microphone here. I can read them out loud, but you can look them up for yourself as well. The words that were used, okay, just as a handmade set with colors with ancient pigments. Unbelievably beautiful set of 9 handmade watercolors using ancient pigments such as lapis lazuli, cochineal, and Indian yellow. saying using ancient pigments such as, and then just naming those few, but then stating on Instagram that he said in the video that they're not using it. I didn't get that. I don't get that. You're first lying about this on the website. I don't get that. You're denying it. They're not cheap. $130. For me, it was even more, by the way. 175.95 in euros, and it was €1 cheaper yesterday, but it was already sold out. But you get 9 paints out of it. Lapis is expensive, not that expensive when it looks like that in the pen. I mean, seriously, if you use, I'm not even going to. Do I even have actual lapis here? I do have some genuine. I didn't sell this one because it was a messy pen, but this is, it was quite a messy pen. This is genuine lapis. This is my homemade lapis lazuli. This is the real thing, the purest version that I could make, and it's this dark, like ultramarine blue. Indian yellow isn't possible. It's not even legal. It's like, it's unethical. Cochineal, fine, we eat that. It's in makeup. Cinnabar, toxic. Orpiment, toxic. More toxic. Oh, I haven't even started with the rant, a watercolorist. This is just the introduction of it. Oh no, you didn't get a clear answer if you used Indian yellow, but they gave a clear answer. I asked 180 euros, I think, for a half pen of my purest lapis lazuli. It's a ridiculous amount of money, and I really get that it's not for everyone. But I made the pigment myself. It's literally, I need to get paid for the hours that I put in stuff. Making the own pigment means that I can't make paint, meaning I need to charge it. Apart from the raw material costs and the labor, just not only my time, but the labor and making paint out of it. And everything that, you know, the research, and I need to keep that in account. So it's an incredibly expensive paint, and I know out of experience, because I haven't sold a lot of it, and I literally can't sell a lot of it because I can't make a lot of pigment. But it's not for everyone, but I like to offer it. Sorry about this. Yinmin, Yintico, aren't for everyone as well. They are expensive, not this expensive, but they are expensive, and they are nice colors, but not maybe like 80 euros nice for a lot of people. I want to hear about that, a good chance. Also, my Moss Sit came in, but I'll talk about that later as well. Since everyone just, you know, you already used the name of the thing we're talking about. Let me just put on a little light over here, make it a little warmer. And let's quickly go over to this one. Am I here? Yes. Since we've already named the website, I'm just going to show you. And so it's really, it's kind of double for me. It says these colors are made from the same powders hunted down along the Silk Road. So we're talking medieval times till, I don't know, 17th century-ish period here. then an ancient process. And the thing is, maybe I can better show you on Instagram. I'm first going to start with this thing, and I'm going to quickly go to this thing. You see this here, this little pen. This was posted 2001. This pen, I mean, I'm not saying that they copied me, but it's about the same time that he blocked me, I think. So it might be. I don't know. A lot of people copied my pens after I made that post, which maybe wasn't the smartest thing, but you know, yeah. Also, and this is just ranting because of ranting and whining out of, you know, because I'm really mad about what's happening here. They're showing a shape of a pen that I know is the shape itself isn't original. The 3 panes in ones, more people have done that, but and it could be a coincidence. I'm not even mad about that. I'm not even mad about the shape, but like a out of the box kind of shape, with handmade things, with exclusive pigments. That's my thing. No, it's not completely true. But it is a market that they never attacked like this. And yeah, they claim it's Indian yellow. And the other thing in the video, they say we only use traditional methods, and then you see, literally you see someone using an industrial mixing machine mixing up paint. There's nothing traditional about that. You see a glass muller a couple of times. You also see him grinding up cochineal and making paint out of it directly. It's a dye. It needs to be laked before a paint can be made out of it. There is so much wrong with this, and I'm so sorry about this. This is literally just whatever kind of build up inside me the past 24 hours. A what's called wrist. I will try to get you paint. Period. Whether you like it or not. I don't know where you live, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm just going to... I made a Egyptian palette, yeah, with... originally it was Egyptian blue in it, but looking at the earth colors used, it was red ochre, brown ochre, yellow ochre, bone black, malachite. It could be Egyptian greenish, or another synthetic pigment, but I found the lapis ash that I used in it to fit better with the other colors than Egyptian blue. Cheers, Sebastian. That's another thing. That palette has been copied as well. It's not. That's not really fair of me to say. It's I copied the palette myself from one that is over 3,000 years old. I made a replica of it. But there was another account making just like this year. So I've introduced it quite a few years back. That has been, since they started making paint, they followed me, and then they introduced that Egyptian palette with their idea and super unique, and well, an entire marketing thing around that is fine, you know. It wasn't my market, it wasn't the country or I think I've never shipped to the country, so fine. But I've said this before, just giving a little bit of credit. Like, I've seen this, I was really inspired by a little bit of things. Wait, that is absolutely true. A watercolorist. I have started using lamp black. Absolutely true, and thank you for saying this. I started with bone black, but the lamp black that I had was, I thought it was a little bit too warm, whereas you already had a brown, a red, and a yellow, which were really warm in tone. The yellow and the brown as well, and the lamp black I had didn't really fit there. So I wanted a more blue leaning, a cooler black. That's why I changed it. So it wasn't because I wanted to make an exact replica back then. Still not. I wanted to be a modern remake with traditional pigments, but maybe not the original pigments. But also something that really worked well together with what we have right now. So you're right. Anyway, let's get back to, is this, I think it is, this is the video. Lamp black usually is quite the same, but pigment number wise, within lamp black you have soot, you have carbon black, there are a lot of names within the pigment number. Good morning, Mr. Pigment. I'm ranting about a certain post we saw yesterday, but you might have guessed that. Oh, that's, I'm sorry to hear that, a watercolorist. Let me quickly check if I can. No, I can't turn the ads off. So, with this, I think I'm just going to share more with you. Mr. Pigments, I started this stream with saying I put up some Christmas decoration to make it a little bit more positive, but for the last 27 minutes, that really didn't make any difference. So I'm so sorry. Let's get to this. Let me quickly get my headphones on to hear what you're hearing right now. Oh God, I sound annoying.
Hi there, I'm Stuart Semple.
Okay, never mind, I don't sound annoying.
Paints like the world's pinkest pink and the blackest paint in the world. Now, I've been obsessed with colour since I was a small kid, and I saw Van Gogh sunflowers at the National Gallery, and it completely blew my mind. Since then, I've been making colours, I've been making paints, and we do that every day here in my studio, by hand, slowly and laboriously, using the...
Pay attention to what it says next and see this, using what?
I wanted to take laboriously using the traditional ways.
Traditional ways.
To take this all the way back to the point in which it started. So I've resurrected some ancient pigments that have been forgotten to time and antiquity.
We haven't forgotten about them. They are alive and well. Actually, the lapis video is one of my best going videos on YouTube.
I call this set that I've made Origins because it really is where the start of the story of art begins. Now, this is a very laborious and painstaking process that can only be done by hand here in very, very small batches. So I've brought back to life a series of 9 pigments.
Thing is, he's actually, I think he might be showing the real thing here. This is Verona Earth.
That we've never had a chance to play with ever before.
I think he wants to let you know that this is Indian yellow. Or something, I don't know.
Made each one exquisitely.
And that's the cochineal, and he puts binder through it. Just
order your set. Unfortunately, it's impossible to make many because it takes for ages and ages and ages to do it. So only
that is true. You know, it's a handmade product. Yes, they take ages to do, but
a few sets available. So I hope if you get one, you really enjoy it and you manage to make some brilliant work. Hi there.
No, not again, not again. So, using ancient pigments such as lapis lazuli, cochineal, and Indian yellow. These colors are made from the same powders hunted down along the Silk Road. This is literally saying he's using the real thing. And there, Mr. Pigments, there you are. They already replied to you that they aren't using it. And this video has to imply somewhere that he's recreating them. The colors, the pigments as well, not only the colors, but I don't know where he says that is not the real thing. I'm looking at this is not the real thing. This is supposed to be Han purple. This is the pigment. And it looks like this swatch. Yes, I am prepared for this. Also, you know, this pen, that was mine. Verona Green Earth only costs 340 euros for a 25 kilogram bag. So it's not that expensive. It's, and we're not even going to talk about this. No, but really, it's... Tell me, Mark, what's up? No, I wasn't. I wasn't up all night researching my rant. No, these are just, you know, artistpigments.org. Again, brilliant website. Thank you, Tomas. He has swatches of dry pigments now. He makes watercolor himself, makes swatches out of dry pigments because that shows the dry pigment best on screen instead of just making a picture of the dry pigment in mass tone. So it's really easy to look up. Lapis is quite expensive. Cochineal isn't. That, hey, watercolorist, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Their marketing and aesthetic is, it's bold, but aesthetic-wise, absolutely. I mean, I'm like I'm kind of like a straight in your face brand myself. I don't have any subtle brand picture or logo, and the font I use isn't any subtle as well, but they take it a step further. But the claims they make with the aesthetics, with the products, with the design, the claims they make especially, that are being enhanced with by the look of the product, is the claims aren't good, aren't decent. And what they do, I mean, I like the packaging of the paint. It's clean, minimalistic. I like the pens, but that's why I made them 3 years ago. I don't like anything else about this. It doesn't even look alike. It doesn't even look like the real thing. And who said this? Need to go up. Hey, what's good? What you're saying about what Indian yellow looks like? Absolutely true. They look more like even I think it looks dry as watercolor paint dry. It looks most like PY150, that dark mustard with that vibrant. It is a little bit too chemical PY150, so you need the warmer PY153 combination with that to get to a true Indian yellow-ish. But I'm using single pigment, so PY153 it is for me. But dry, that doesn't look like Indian yellow. That looks like almost an orange paint, almost like Benzie orange. Then we have Cochineal. What is he using? Cinnabar. Mark, you have Cinnabar from me. That doesn't look like it. Orpiment. Doesn't look like it as well. And the green earth is just white. Green earth is like a deep moss green when it's dry in the pen. A hard deep moss green, very hard to re-wet. And I think what they did is just you know, take a cheap green, fill it up with a lot of white, so you get that. You get what earth green would look like in its transparency, but as, I don't know, a white mixed thing. Not even going to start about Egyptian blue. Lapis lazuli looks just like a very thinned down ultramarine blue. Yeah, but Cinnabar is toxic, but Mark, you asked for that color, so just to explain that to others, I don't have this in my shop, but I do have it, and it's a pigment that isn't unethical, but I gave fair warnings about this before I send it. I'm not going to make orpiment even. I'm not going to make realgar. There's loads of things I won't just make to sell because it might look good or it might be unique. I'm not going to use the mercutmium I have. It's nice to have. I think I do. I need to check that. I think I got a sample from Kramer a while back. Let me have a look. Well, it looks like this. I didn't list it under PB31 though. I can't find it. But I think I had a, or am I completely looking over it? I'm looking over it. I have it. Well, I just showed the swatch of the pigment. That's what Kramer's version looks like too. Just, you know, adding that to it. There aren't, so they claim one thing. Literally, the words that they use is nothing but claiming using the real thing. That's it. Then they deny that because he apparently said something in the video that should have made clear that it wasn't the real thing, which I didn't hear. I know English is my first language, but I didn't hear that. And the other thing, and I talked with them about this. I said that the last live stream, I think. I want to see pigment numbers, not because I want to replicate anything. I don't want to replicate that. Their thing is acrylics, by the way, as well. I'm not doing that. And now they do handmade watercolors. Anyway, I want to see pigment numbers, especially when you're making hues of something that isn't a real thing. What's in it? Like, just because we want to know, or artists want to know, what kind of pigment am I buying and why am I paying 150 euros for it? Yeah, I've seen that, Mr. Pigment. I just showed purple to everyone as well here somewhere. Here, there we go. You're not seeing it, but now you do. This is what it looks like. And to be honest, I'm literally too lazy to just make it myself because it's here. It's like, this is a plastic bottle. This is the pigment, and it is like a very. It looks like ultramarine violet in the bottle. On their website, it doesn't. Not even close to what this does. So, other than not naming any pigment numbers, they're not showing swatches as well, which I think is a real issue. Especially when your paint looks like this. And I don't know even which red is supposed to be which red. There should be a something should be cochineal, something should be cinnabar. What was the other thing? What am I missing here? Madder Lake. This something should be Indian yellow, and something of these two should be orpiment, and this should be green earth. Then hunt purple, I think lapis lazuli, I think maybe even Egyptian blue. I don't know. I wouldn't know, because that's not what the real thing looks like. It's not even close. Atishem, welcome. I'm sorry, this is like literally. I needed to get this off my chest, and so many things going on in my head right now. There's been like the black is black thing they're always talking about, and always going on about Anish Kapoor constantly doing that thing. It's getting old, and you don't even have the black is black anymore. But apart from that, your black is really black. Well done. Now they want to release, or now for a couple of years they wanted to release, wanted to set free colors from the big corporations and stuff like that. So you had a pink that had a copyright on it. You had the Tiffany blue, which was just basically PG-50, I think, with a bit of white. But then he, fine and everything, because they put a kind of a trademark on a color. They I wouldn't say owned the color, but for a brand doing a commercial thing, you couldn't use the color for that same kind of commercial thing. Then, and I bought this, they did Easy Klein, a set free Yves Klein blue, because it was patented. Yves Klein blue, it's like literally, I have it here. I have a big jar of Yves Klein blue, but this is because it's PB29. Yves Klein didn't own synthetic ultramarine. He worked together with a scientist, a paint maker, to create a binder that showed the pigment after it was put on a surface as it looks in its dry state, which no binder does. I mean, watercolor comes close, gouache comes close, but as bright, the structure and everything as bright as the dry pigment itself, that was new. He worked together with something to create something new, and with that new idea, with that new visual appeal, he made art. I need to quickly react on someone. He made his artwork, and someone reacted on my story on Instagram. They wanted to know what it was about. Yves Klein didn't put a trademark on a color. He made that color to make his vision come true visibly. And the fact that this guy had the guts to say that Yves Klein owned the color and stole that color from artists to use that as well, he didn't. It is one of the most beautiful blues there is. It is ultramarine blue, but Yves Klein was a conceptual artist as well. His idea about the color blue only, he had an entire philosophy about this. Look it up, I'm not going to. But he made live performances with nude people in his paint formula, pressing their bodies, stamping the paint on the canvas, and there was a performance piece, but it ended up being a painting as well. He made gigantic canvases painted with just that blue. He added sponges to it, painted with that blue as well, to give a weird structure. For those of you who are in the Netherlands, one of them is in Stedelijk Museum in Amsterdam, although I wouldn't go to Amsterdam right now. But mainly women, Paolo, absolutely. Live performances, especially mainly women. Also, might be a minor detail, Yves Klein, I literally, I saw his work for the first time with my own eyes for the first time 2 years ago. And he died in the 60s already. He died quite young. But he was my grandmother's nephew from the other side of her family. So, which is a nice detail. It's not that I have any connection with him whatsoever, but that kind of, that sticks. And seeing this, knowing what, his work was about, his color was, and knowing his idea behind the blue, and not because he wanted to make money with it. I mean, he died so young. I think I'm older right now than he was eventually. Women, they covered their bodies in his paint, in his formula of ultramarine blue, and then pressed their bodies against the canvas. No, he died in the 60s, not in his 60s, but 1960, 68, I think. I'm not quite sure. Yes. Well, oh, maybe. Anyway, it made it a little bit more personal for me to read a claim like that. And I bought it. 62. Thank you very much, Sylvie. This is why I love this gen. I bought the paint because I was almost as aggravated as I am right now. I was annoyed, to put it slightly. And it wasn't even blue. It wasn't even that blue. It was, obviously it was blue. It wasn't even that blue. I bought flatter, deeper ultramarine blues, acrylic gouaches than that. And if you're making claims like that, at least come up with something that is not on the market yet, not something that has already been done without those claims, and do it worse. I mean, yeah, but the same with this. We've been talking about people making hues of the world's rarest colors, for instance, and making hues of toxic paints, or hues of expensive paints, and claiming it is as close to the real thing. Also, both of them tried them, it's not. This stuff doesn't look like it. Why make claims like that? So I really don't get it. Thank you, a watercolorist. I am Paolo. I am ranting about that. And I just can't wrap my head around the pictures. There's not even swatches. And there's well, Paolo, I thank you so much, Sebastian. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to put this in the, you see the little donation thing under your name there as well. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And it's going, literally, this is going into the project's pots. Absolutely. Okay, no need to explain. It's about yesterday's post. I'm literally, if you're re-watching this, if I save the rewatch, I'm literally showing the video that they posted yesterday, and with my comments. And I prove it's an orange. It is an orange. It's quite nice. We should have a little group chat over there. Not like a giant Discord where, you know, people can, but just a nice group chat, or maybe WhatsApp or something. I'm not even close to finished. I'm not even close to finishing with the rant, but it's yeah, and Guerra is releasing Manganese Blue, so yeah, I understand you're excited, but for me it's like a bit of a you know, I have the, it's literally in front of me, by the way, because of the video I posted yesterday. I made it yesterday as well. This is not good for my position on the market. Depending on how much they sell it for. Same with quinacridone gold, by the way. When I had quinacridone gold People slowly started to find out that Guerra sold a dispersion of it, and then everyone started to offer coin gold. Yeah, I understand. The dispersion is way easier for acrylics. I understand that. I still have the Himba red. Oh no, I put it over there because it's a very fragile little bottle. But yeah, it's for my for my market position. Not really happy about it, but I understand. Like I'm not mad about it, but it's not something I'm very thrilled by as well. They don't share the media. They spare it in a dispersant, mainly water with a dispersant. No, I asked about them, and I bought their reddest ultramarine, the oldest one they had. Is also marketing. I know. I don't see any difference between this and the one I just buy in my art shop. For the one that I use. I have to say this stuff, and I don't want to. There's really a lot of light today, which is weird because I have the same light all the time. It is not as nice to work with as dry pigment for making watercolors. That is something I can confirm, or I can claim now because. I tried it, and it's. I asked them, like, okay, how do you make watercolors with your dispersion? Because you say in acrylics you only need like 10%, 20% of dispersion versus binder, and with acrylics, obviously, it's way different than watercolors. Oils take way more pigment than watercolors do. Watercolors like have 50-50, around the 50-50 ratio. At least for me. Sometimes it's a bit more binder because it's a tricky pigment, which just needs a bit more binder. Other times 50-50 is just spot on. Mica pigments, they can use a little less binder. With them, they said it only needs 20%. So I started 20%, and it was like it wasn't drying. It was transparent. It was so. I tried it 50-50 to make paint with the dispersion. This was, by the way, for my ultramarine blue video with the, I don't know if everyone's seen that, but the pigments are mixed in water and how quickly they settle. One of them was a dispersion. It was this one. And I was kind of flocking, and that was probably the dispersant in that dispersion. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what's in there other than water. So yeah, it's always tricky to see or to use. Because this rant is about transparency, and if I'm using something that I don't know what's in it, it feels kind of wrong for me. Yeah, that. But for me, I understand for you making acrylic paints with it, or using manganese blue for anything else, like except for oils, because that's possible, but kind of the long way to do it. A dispersion is good for an airbrush as well. It's good, you can even put it in a marker with a binder. So yeah, I understand it. But again, expect a lot of PB33s on the market coming period if it's not too expensive for the average watercolor maker. I don't mean that condescending like the average watercolor maker, not at all, but I don't know how I meant that. Expected to see it more often. I think that's it. Sylvie, cheers. Anyway, did I have anything else that I kind of prepared for this? I think it was mostly a combination between seeing that shape pen with 3 different colors in it, and the claims. I'm just having a little scotch. Actually, I have quite a nice bottle over here, but I'm not drinking that. So, shall I continue ranting, or shall I just calm down now and do the other stuff? I didn't really plan on doing other stuff today. That's why I also changed my background in $100 bills covered in paint. That's the only use I have for AI, by the way. Creating thumbnails for YouTube, and these backgrounds work wonders. Because I have to say, I just said, you know, give me an image with dollar bills covered in drops of paint, and it gave me this, which I think looks quite nice. I'm sorry, I'm just quickly reading what everyone's saying. Ah, congratulations, Sylvis. Oh, and good Gulchan that for looking that out, looking that up. Looking that out. That was Dutch translated in English in the wrong way. But Sylvie, that's nice. Yeah, there's loads of great reactions on the Muller, and I'm not using it for art, Gulchen. I'm using it for a thumbnail, and I would never use it to replace it with art or anything. I'm not asking it to make a painting for me either. I'm asking it to make a picture, a photograph. Oh. But I agree with you with that standpoint on AI. I have to check boxes on YouTube as well if I haven't used any AI in my video to show things that aren't real. But there's an exception for thumbnails, because it doesn't show what the video is about. It's can either slightly improve your picture, and I'm really honest about this because I have seen companies, and that is an issue, I think, that use AI generated pictures of paints, pigments, while selling pigments that don't look like that. So that felt kind of off. I don't know if anyone else of you noticed that it's a pigment brand, and their pictures suddenly looked way better. And it wasn't meant in any bad way. It wasn't. It was just kind of clear that they went from natural looking pictures to very artistic, lighted, very saturated, highly textured images that were in a different surround. I don't know. Everything felt a bit like, huh, that's new. And apparently they used AI to enhance their pictures. I am very curious about this as well, Sylvie. Is there a Dirty Blue Tube Discord channel? There is, but I haven't like done anything with that. But Mr. Pigments did make a Dirty Blue corner in his Discord channel. You are kidding me, Sylvie. Oh, wow. I'm not even going to look mine up now anymore. If that's possible, if that's a possibility. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm sorry. Is there anyone who could give Namisao, I'm sorry, the Discord information? Maybe. No, it's we don't blame you, Sylvie. No, you know, I can imagine this week. That must have been hard. But your favorite color, Paolo, it is orange, so there must be something positive about him. Cornelissen's does manganese blue, yes, but the last time I tried to buy it, and that was 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago I wanted to buy that from them. It couldn't be sent overseas because of they don't do that with toxic pigments. At least they didn't do it back then to the one I spoke to. I'm very I'm almost hesitant to say it now, but you're very welcome. Not a 10 orange. No, I understand. Let's call it Brother Muller. That's I don't know if that's right. Muller Jr. MJ. No, that's not right. So, in other news, Gulshan, you had your Proplica. How is it? I was kind of doubting whether I should go back to the rant or whether I just, you know, open up with something else right now. We can do a video call. I mean, literally, we can do, I don't know, Zoom, Teams, whatever works for anyone. Oh, that is nice. But does it make like okay sounds with it? Do you have to press a button? Does it sound while swinging like a lightsaber? Or well, Stuart Semple or whom? You were doing stuff. That's fine, Ryder. No details. I need to get another drink. That is nice, and it does it look like plastic? Does it look like it could be real? I'm mostly curious about that. That sounds awesome. Well, it's fine. I mean, it's a kind of a replica or replica, but from a game. So that sounds really awesome. Oh yeah, I'm really curious. Yeah, I can leave the rant for, you know, it's like that's fine. Oh, that looks awesome. That looks sweet. With the scabbard as well. Oh, I'm jealous. Don't run around the street with it though. You know, people might not like it. But that is really, really awesome. That's good to hear, Sebastian. Okay, so that is really good to hear. Let me just go not that way as well. I was too quick for the button. This one came in along with some other stuff, but that's mostly what I already had. More sits. I like the name. So this is a genuine pigment. I'm going to genuinely make paint out of this. I don't know if I'm going to do it right now, but it is supposed to be the most green, natural green there is, the greenest natural green, and it looks very pastel-y indeed. But, and I'm just going to look this up on the website of theirs, and I'm just going to read it out loud. Moss sitsit is an extremely rare mineral which was first found inside a meteorite. Today, the only location known for small deposits of this cosmochlore is the Tama region in Myanmar. The gemstone is a chromium sodium clinoproxane. I don't know. That's clinopiroxane. Seen? I don't know. That's just as hard as rock crystal. It is brilliant light emerald. Its brilliant light emerald green hue is unparalleled amongst natural pigments. It is suitable for waterborne. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so Cosmoclore, yada, jade. And it would have been nice if this was from a meteorite, although I have meteorite brown in my collection, which is just a very gritty brown. I can make a little bit of paint with this, I think. Also, I didn't only prepped for ranting, I actually prepped a microscope slab for it as well. And hopefully we can have a look at the green. There we go. This is what Mossitsit looks like. As you can see, it is a crystal-like structure. It is a very transparent pigment, and looking at it under cross-polarized light like this, and maybe even putting a refraction plate between it, you can actually see the different refraction properties of the pigment. But yeah, that looks quite neat. Where is it? Here it is. I'm here. I should have used that camera, but this looks quite neat, especially since the microphone is in front of my head when I do this. Not that I mind, but I can make some paint, but I'm not going to do this with my gigantic muller. For this, I will use my tiny muller and my tiny pellet knife. Although I don't really like the feel and the flexibility of this one. I might have a better one. This is better. Oh, I got something from Instagram. Usually I don't do this, but one of you send it. This is not green earth. It's not. It's just not green earth. I actually want to make green earth right now here. Just to... I'm not even going to... I don't want to... Measuring spoon is actually quite a... Oh. Guys, don't message me on Instagram while we're here. Let me just answer all of you. The green earth isn't new. That is correct. Okay, So I feel, since this little bottle of pigment set me back 70 euros, and it's only 5 grams, I feel that a measuring spoon of this is quite a lot. Although we have to start somewhere, right? It's like, thank you, watercolorists. That really helps. Let's get this thing off as well. I'm at work on for another hour. Oh, guys. So, more sits. Do I have a... There we go. Just a little bit closer up, since we're working with tiny tools today. Dun, 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 dun. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just did it. Let's make paint out of this. Yeah, but I'm Gina Bado, welcome. And good that you love watercolors, then you're in the right spot. If you also like transparency, honesty, decency, and pigments, you are absolutely in the right spot. You are surrounded by intelligent and passionate people who also love all those other things. That was a bit over the top, wasn't it? But welcome. More sits. I can't get over the name. Cosmocolor Jade. I don't know what's... I like more sit better. Okay, good. I'm not that afraid of competition now. Thank you, Mr. Pigments, for that wonderful news. And it is crazy much. I mean, how much is 1 fluid ounce? Is that like a small one? There's small bottle. But let's go back to the close-up of the slab again. And let's just mix this incredibly expensive pigment with my binder. I'm just going to surround it with binder. Now I have no other choice than make paint out of it. This is more sits. I'm not making it up. More sits. I don't understand the question as well, Mark, but I know it wasn't meant for me as well, so... to be honest, it looks quite a lot like malachite. Although malachite in its, especially when mulling malachite for the first time, so not like when you do it for the first time, but when you wet malachite, the dry pigment with the binder, Sorry, Mark, Yves Klein Blue, International Klein Blue, IKB, IKB, wow, is a patented method of using PB29. It is not a color on its own. It is a method of applying a color. There you go. So when you were first wet malachite, it's kind of a pastel turquoise blue leaning green. This already has that yellow tint in it that malachite gets because of oxidation. So watercolor pour, welcome. Thanks for joining. I am making Ma Sit Sit, a green, this is really, I'm just zooming in pixels here. The quality isn't getting better. It is a green pigment found in a meteorite for the first time. I'm leaving, see this guys, I'm leaving a bit away. It was found in a meteorite for the first time. I'm not lying there, but this isn't from a meteorite. But it is supposed to be the most green, vibrant, emerald-like natural pigment there is. Julien, yes, absolutely. I'm not going to turn into a zombie live. I'm only doing that during the weekends, and it's only Friday evening. I start doing that on Saturdays. No, Adam, Montparnasse isn't an unethical company, Mark, if you're asking that. It is the studio behind the patents, or the person behind the patents. If I'm right, Julien. It looks lovely. I don't know if it looks 70 euros for 5 grams lovely. Just sharing my honesty here. I really don't know what you mean with that, Paolo. What is a 79 thing? It's really annoying. A small palette knife needs to be used at a different angle. Apparently size does matter. Okay, just ignore that. Watercolor pour. I have done that with ultramarine blue and yellow ochre to see if I can optically mix dirty blue. But Okay, I'm sorry. All these other things. It's not as nice as, like, you have watercolor salts as well, like that stuff that you can sprinkle over wet paper, and it kind of dissolves and stains the paper and stuff like that. Dry pigment doesn't really work like that. No, mine was still kind of lumpy. You need to either like put it through a sieve and then tap it above the paper or something like that to get a nice and even falling pigment consistency. Okay, so this is the wrong close-up. We're doing this here. It looks green. I think that's about it. I'm folding a piece of paper. For little tools, we also need a little piece of paper. So let's make a tiny swatch of this as well. It looks very malachite-y. Very malachite-y indeed. Thanks for joining, Mr. Pigmans. Stay safe, I would say. And if you're still here, are you going to buy the manganese blue? Just curious. So, tiny tools for a tiny bit of Thank you, Paolo. It's I think that's the friendliest thing you've said to me in a while. Let's just put it up there. Old days, a very good question. Do quinacridone take much more grams or amount per pen compared to other families of pigments? No, actually, because quinacridone is a very fine pigment. So if you're counting the pigment particles, yeah, probably it is a lot more. It's not more gram. It is a very light pigment as well. So it's certainly not more grams. And most of them are very tinting as well, very strong in their color strength. So you don't need more of it, maybe even less. You can get manganese blue pigment from me, Sebastian, if you want to buy it. What is going on? Am I missing something? It is very transparent. I have to say. Maybe I can. I don't know if this one is this one still working. Just let's have a quick look at transparency by. Oh, we can make it a thicker line. I'm letting the ink dry first. Let's show you from up close. Let's fix the camera first. There we go. I think this is about as accurate as I can get it. Maybe it's a little bit more vibrant, but I will show you when it's dry. I will show you on the spectrometer as well. So don't worry about that. I made one for the video yesterday, so I can literally just this is manganese blue. Oh, malachite. Sorry, I'm reading malachite. Malachite. Yes, because I had. Where are my greens? There we go. I think this is Victoria green, which is also quite similar, I have to say. Green earth, how it's supposed to look like. Oh, don't start ranting again. Wow, are you just asking me for the one that I lost? I haven't lost it, right? PG17. Where is PG51? Oh, there's P39. It is. That's the one. What? Wait. If you're talking about me, Paolo, I don't hate you. Where's your comment? What kind of comments? I highlighted your I hope the zombie virus is worth $60 thing. I literally highlighted this. And why is it highlighted 2 times right now? That's because of you, Paolo, isn't it? You're haunting me. It's just once there, and you're twice here right now. You're also here. You're not supposed to be there. But to show you everything here, they are all different though. This is Mossitsits, Green Earth, Victoria Green, and Malachite. So they might be right with that this is the most vibrant one. But what, Paolo, just imagine, close your eyes, maybe not even close your eyes. You can do this without closing your eyes as well. But imagine that this actually had something in it that made me change, that made me not feel well or sick, maybe a zombie. You would feel so bad after this, just joking about it. I mean, it is malachite in its dry state. That is, this is a dot version of my Egyptian palette, by the way. It's tiny and cute. So yeah, this is You're not a horrible person. We talked about this. You're actually quite nice. You just need to open your heart, you know, to yourself, Paolo. Accept the good person that is Paolo. I mean, we welcome Gina here with open arms, as decent people. You are one of them, Paolo. Just admit it. And because of this is all very tiny, we're going to do it in a dot pen. This is a very full dot pen. I put this too full. I overfilled it. It's flowing over. Oh no, what did I do? Okay, there's no saving. Maybe I should have made that 2 dot pens. Now it is a very generous dot. And here you have the tiny muller and the tiny palette knife and the tiny brush with our tiny, tiny, tiny expensive bottle of moss. Sit. So yeah. Cutesy. It is, I have to be, you know, seeing it here and on camera as well, but mostly seeing it here in front of me. It is more vibrant. It is less green. Yes, less yellowish green than malachite. It is a deep, it is very close to Paris green. To a version of Paris green. This is almost masked tone already, Mark. But I will do it next to, you know, that is dry. I can do it. I made a tiny black line on purpose to show you its transparency. I can do that in masked tone as well. This is as saturated as I can get it. Literally just dropping pigments here now on the paper. Well, Gulchen, I'm not sure yet, since Paolo is only joking about zombie virus things in this green. Maybe it won't kill me, but maybe, you know, maybe I'm going to be a zombie after this. I don't know. Am I? Need to think about when I start talking. I'm kind of surprised that Stuart Sample didn't go mummy brown and Paris green with this. Because that would have made me like really mad. I don't know if it's if I would have been more annoyed by that. So yeah. What should we do with the rest of the paint? Let me just put it on here. There we go. What are you talking about, Paolo? What effect of tourmaline on granulating paints? Or what? Yeah, there are versions of Paris green all days. Same as ultramarine blue, same as loads of chemical pigments. Chemically made pigments. There are slightly bluer ones, there are slightly more yellow ones, there are more vibrant ones, more pastel ones. I have a few of them, and I only have a video where I make, well, actually, it's rather close to this. Might be able to show you. Can I show you? Might be able to show you. Let me quickly go. Here, and then we are going to do Paris green, and then we go that way, and then I have ads. Let me quickly go to my own video. Hello, and this is me. I first had this was Paris green from Prodigal Sons. This was the first version I had, but quickly after I got this version, I had like 3 more versions. This is the lightest one, the less green one. So you need. I'm just quickly going to share the link of the video here, so you can watch it for yourself later. I'm just quickly going to the swatching part. Swatching. Making paint looks quite like Moss Sits. Making paint, swatching. And there we go. Which pigment come close to Paris green? Well, Moss Sits actually. So yes, and Mumby Brown and Indian Yellow and Dragon's Blood. Watch it, guys, watch it. No. But it's this is quite close, to be honest. It's a little less vibrant. Oh, you wouldn't believe this. You wouldn't believe this. Just what is suggested here. Mr. Pigments. Oh, good. Okay, so this is a Mr. Pigments video. Okay, I was really afraid that this was a video actually promoting the paints, but it was a pigment ranting video. So good. That's good. So let's get back to this. Sentient Tent. Let me first go to Mark. What do you mean with Paris Blue 3011 method 2? What do you mean with? I don't get that. You should really put a backlight on those pigment shells behind you. I actually have some laying around, but that means that if I put light on the top of the shelf, it would shine in the camera. If it would put light behind the pigment bottles, it means that I can fit less pigment bottles on my shelves. It's for now. I have this, which really does it does a little bit, but it doesn't do a lot. That is a beautiful green. 70% like Indian yellow has those similar ethical concerns, but you're probably less likely to know its origins rather than mummy brown. Actually, it is quite easy to identify Indian yellow, and not so easy to identify mummy brown, because Indian yellow looks unique under the microscope, especially under cross-polarized light. It's like it's a one-of-a-kind look that it gives, that it breaks the light. So super easy to identify Indian yellow. That's why I, until they said on Instagram that they're actually not using the real pigments, I wanted to get my my hands on the paint, because I wanted to show it's not real, because it cannot be real. There were a few the smell, absolutely, Sylvie. The smell of Indian yellow is one of the other things, but especially when it's mixed in a lot of binder or in an oil or anything, this you lose a little bit of the smell, or quite a lot after a while. It gets harder. I don't know what I was saying before that. I don't know. But yeah, the Mars Sit looks nice. But I have to agree. I do not think I need to ask quite a lot of money for this. As you saw, I made 1/8 of a teaspoon of paint, which just gave me a drop more than a dot. Although this dot has flown over quite a bit. It was a dot that was too generous. Old days, that is a very good question. I have no clue. That's not completely true. Let me check. Because this is a bottle of 20 grams of quinacridone Scarlet PR207. And this would make at least 10 pens, I think. I don't know. What do Sylvie, what do other people think? You can make quite a bit of paint with 20 grams of quinacridone. I'm really curious about that, Sebastian. I really cannot wait, and Mark as well, to see what kind of pigment we end up with. So that's very, very exciting stuff you're both doing, but yeah. It's way more than 2 pens. I mean, this is easily 2 full tablespoons of quinacridone. Easily. At least 5 generous pens, if not 10. I don't know. Navisao, have a good night. What's the time? It is 9:45. I started streaming an hour earlier today because of this rant. It doesn't mean I'm going on for an hour longer. I've also stopped ranting. And instead of that, I just took my tiny tools and made a tiny batch of... Tiny batch, it's not even a batch. A dot of Marsitsit. I think it's a funny name. Hopefully it's not offending anyone. But yeah, I like it as a green. It is definitely way greener than a certain earth green I just saw on a video. Oh, sorry, couldn't help myself. I'm live now for an hour and 55 minutes and 18 seconds to be exact, Paolo, but who's counting? Apparently, this app is. Cow-free mango, cow-free mango leaf yellow. Cruelty-free Indian yellow. To tick all the boxes. Instead of cows eating mango leaves, Mark just did it himself and used. No, I'm sorry. I can't wait to see your washed version as well, Mark. Do I have a photo of the latest one? Quickly looking at pictures. This wasn't it, right? This wasn't the picture you were talking about. It is impressively yellow. Or is it that one? Hey, what's color is? I like that one best, I think. Indian yellow, free Indian yellow. Free Indian yellow from Indian yellow. I know a company who would do a great marketing thing with that. And then just use Hansa yellow or something else. Is Vindian yellow, does that come from vegan Indian yellow? Because it has a nice ring to it. In a brand, it should be like a V with a leaf shape, and a green V with a leaf shape, and an Indian yellow in white behind that, with a black line around the letters, and that warm light yellow background. I think I'm overthinking it. Hey, what color is that? Is the Indian free Indian yellow, Indian yellow free Indian yellow that Mark made or is making? Vindian yellow is yeah. It would be... Oh, you just sent a picture. Yeah, I put myself on work mode, so a watercolorist couldn't spam me with... Oh, those chunks look gorgeous. What I want to say, it would be awesome if it could be collected as a ball. If you could send it to me as a ball of pigment, like the real Indian yellow. This is looking crazy good, Mark. Especially those chunks. I mean, that adds so much to the... And a swatch of it. It's really, really nice. It's really, 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 really nice. I really like this. Why is Culture Hustle ignoring my comments? I just gave them their own quotes back from the website after they said that the video made clear that they're not using the actual... Wait, what about blonde unicorn's mane? No? Okay, sorry. I will one day put a paint on the market with the name Unicorn's Mane. I told you, Paolo, you are a nice person. We all know it. You're the only one who's in denial there. Made with genuine mango. Yeah. Hey, what's colorist? Welcome. Again. This is so much better than... Teeny, meeny, tiny muller. Oh, Mark. Isn't it nice weather out there? Can't you do it outside? Yeah, the baby muller is nice. It is nice. It's not diameter-wise, it's not even the smallest muller I have. It's the one from the travel bag. I think, actually. In diameter-wise, this is smaller. Let me quickly have a look. Yeah, because after that is this muller. And then we probably have... I think it's this one. Maybe this one. could be either one of these. Then to a medium-sized muller, we're here. This is still a tad smaller than the other one. Yeah, my Christmas lighting is still hanging. Then we have this one going to a size larger over here. The heavy Kramer one. The one from 1800. Am I missing something? I have the feeling that it's not all here. Oh yeah, there we go. There's one over here still left there. Then there's the one from 1600. And two mullers from the year 1400 something. Mine. Yeah, but you know, you have tiny mullers in the middle. This is one from 1600. Is it from the Renaissance? I don't know what. I'm ashamed. Meet the Mullers. That is funny. That is funny. This is an Italian one. And then the antique glass one from 1800. You can see the difference in color of glass as well. I mean, it's almost like a brownish gray glass. The metal one on the bottom looks like this, and it's not fully flat. Metal is too soft. Have a good night, Sylvia. Sylvie, thanks for joining. But yeah, it is quite an okay. I might have a Muller problem. Yeah, but it looks nice, like, doesn't it? I do wish I had a stone Muller, a new stone Muller. I would like that. That is like it's not my ultimate goal, or it's anything it's no priority at all. But it would be nice to have a stone Muller that is that's a modern take on it. This is all very, these are all very old. The cola color, that is a long time. That is dirty blue in its infant state. I do have the pigments, and I can still make the mix. Yeah, it was a 2 pigment mix, I believe, but I can still make it. Yeah, absolutely. Watercolor pour. What's the best size to get? Well, everyone has its own preference size. Well, no, I'm just joking. What's the best? I would say something. There was one missing. There we go. I knew it wasn't all there. I missed a child. I think size-wise, and it really depends on what you're do. If you make paint for yourself, and you're not selling it, you don't want to make larger batches or do anything. I want to say do anything weird, but I have to say something like this, which really doesn't say a lot to you. So I'm going to measure it for you. And it is, let me quickly do a measurement, 9.5 centimeters. Really 9.5? How much is the Kramer then? That is 10. I need to measure it from the bottom. Wait. 8 centimeters, 7.5. Keeps getting smaller. It is quite cold here, so no, I'm just joking. So 7 centimeters, I think. I think that's the kind of middle ground to start. Lots of people start, at least that's what I notice when you're looking for mullers in art supply stores. They are very expensive. So obviously the one from 1800 or 1600, 1800 and 1400, those don't count. A handmade one isn't particularly, or has to be more expensive than a store-bought one. I think if an art supply shop would sell this, like a big commercial chain would sell this, it would be more expensive than how much I paid for it. Most kind of beginners start with this, which is, I think was 6 centimeters, 5.5 centimeters, and there are multiple versions of that, different sizes, different shapes. This is getting weird now. This one looks bigger, but the flat surface is the same diameter. So the part touching the glass is the same, the surface area, that's the same. Those are all like really nice if you have the IKEA slab I showed a while back. Can I put this somewhere? This piece of glass here, for instance, which you have enough surface area for using your entire slab, and you can make a lot of movement with a tiny muller. So yeah, it's not about the size; it's about what you do with it. Okay, I'm quitting. I'm stopping here. That was the last. But yeah, what was your question? What's the best size? I would go with a medium small one to start with. Yeah, it is very fun and relaxing to do as well. But if you get into it as much as I do, it's not only the making the paint part, but also um, getting rather emotional about now this entire stream. The first hour was a rant because of something that touched me personally as a paint maker, as someone passionate about pigments, someone truly passionate about pigments. Not I've loved pigments ever since I saw. No, truly passionate about the history of pigments and the use and the respect for it. It sometimes it just hurts when you hear someone talk about something like that with such a large audience. I didn't miss it at all. But Mark, didn't you hear what I'm sorry, didn't you hear what I was saying? Like, did you? What did I miss? I didn't miss anything, did I? Anyway, yeah, I'm quickly going to put the stone ones away because I'm really afraid my desk is going to collapse. It's really weird to realize that these were used 600 years ago. Yeah, my math is correct. Oh, yes, renting. Let's rent a little, just it's not only paint makers that spread untruthfulness. Mr. Pigments, you're still here? Sebastian, you know the channel as well. I do know that for a fact. There is a channel talking about old paints and pigments in a way that really bother me. And there's a piece of there's a oh yes, absolutely, Gulchen. But not only that, and I really want to be let me quickly check this. Or pigments isn't safe to use as well. This is one from Jackson, by the way. Jackson's. And it's a nice Muller. Um, no, it's Sebastian. I agree with you. Sharing the maybe sharing the name isn't the most decent thing to do. I'm just going to put it like that. But looking at how the pigments are showed, and oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about someone who sells paints. Or what are we? I'm talking about a channel that talks very over the top, talks about pigments, and it's quite a large channel, which I do envy. I do get a bit. I'm not getting jealous per se, but there is some envy, I think, and some insecurity with me. Am I doing the right thing? Should I change my approach? Should I change how I do things? Do I need to copy the style to get more attention? To things like that. It all goes through my head, and it's a constant no for me. I need to stick to myself. I need to stick to who I am and what I do here. But in the videos that I see, I don't follow the person anymore, I believe, but sometimes I see a video passing by, and I see bottles of pigments, and it's constantly the same kind of bottles that weren't used for pigments at all. They weren't used for pigments because the neck of the bottle is too narrow to have been a practical bottle for a pigment. So it's all for the show. It's all for the picture to the outside. It's all, look at me. Oh, this looks fancy. I'm telling stuff about that which isn't correct as well. And they made me have a lot of direct messages of people wanting London purple as a paint, which it was never used as a paint to start with. It was a dye, it was a poison, it was toxic, but it's never used as paint, so it's not a pigment. Now probably some people know who I'm talking about. You saw claims that people were selling NY20. Yes, there were 2 stores online that claimed to sell NY20. One of them got rid of that quite fast because I spoke to the person, and I said, I've tested the paint. There was a sample of that Indian yellow paint sent to me to test it on a microscope, and it wasn't real. It was 100% not real. I checked that with World Pigment Day. Asked Ruth, I think, any doubt if this is Indian yellow? Absolutely not. It's not. Because it did look like it, and I saw that, but I wanted to be sure before telling someone the stuff wasn't real. It was sold to that person as Indian yellow, as NY20, and without thinking, they just copied it for their product, which is a shame. Then there was another seller selling NY20, and I've sent a message as well with no reaction, but they started to add a lot of more stuff which wasn't really correct and was a bit vague and mysterious pigment wise. Also a maker who didn't state the pigments in mixes, which is also a thing. So, but I saw that they changed it as well. So they didn't state it was NY20 anymore, but a mixture of pigments. So currently, I'm not aware of people actively selling paints stating it is NY20. Oh, there you are, Mr. Pigment. I just started a small rant about a channel of someone talking about old antique pigments, toxic pigments, in a way that just spread more falseness to the world about pigments. I did come across someone selling, and there's a little bridge to a lot of DS or BS. I'm not sure. I saw someone selling genuine amethyst watercolor paint, which was beautiful violet. And I think it was like quickly after I posted my video about that, which I thought was hilarious because yeah, that person. I thought it was hilarious that someone introduced that very violet amethyst paint. I think a week after I posted the "There is no way a amethyst paint can be that purple" video, and they defended themselves to me. You're not using real violet. You're not using pure violet amethyst. You're not using all that stuff. It's a quartz. It can't be that violet. It's always getting dull. It's always losing color. But yeah. What's the secret? Which secret? I don't have a secret. Oh, that. Yeah. Probably for them, by the way, it was it looked more like an ultramarine violet. Just if you ever come across a violet amethyst watercolor paint, no, it's not real. You can look it up. A watercolorist, if you just open Etsy, I think, and do a search on amethyst watercolor, you probably see that. I wouldn't call it even a pigment channel. It's a huge channel. I think it has like almost 1 million followers channel. Or no, that was TikTok, maybe 300,000 here ish. Not that I keep track of it. I just saw that. I think yesterday. But having such a massive audience, I talked about that with a friend of mine. I think yesterday. Now Jackson's is absolutely brilliant with their videos about pigments. Yes, like that cobalt purple. Exactly that. I have a pigment that is 100 and I don't know, that has been banned for 100 years because of its high toxicity. Let me quickly put on my mask, or else I die. Things, you know, Oh, okay, I should be careful here now. PV14, which it was because I saw the label and it was sold by Prodigal Sons, doesn't have arsenic in it. There used to be a violet that had like high toxicity. But PV14 is PV14. Period. And I think like a half year ago, maybe longer, I made a few comments. Just a question, just a out of professional curiosity. and there was never a reaction on my questions because I think they were too. They were, I don't know, looking for the truth. It has minor toxicity. It's a cobalt pigment, of course. You know it is, and one has more toxicity than the other. But you know that wasn't cobalt that she was talking about. But yeah, I think it's a shame because, like I said, what Jackson's is doing with their pigment stories is absolutely fantastic. I do envy that, but I've already talked about that. But I salute them for it. I applaud them for it. I respect them for it. It is wonderful what they do. Because it has integrity. Because they share a little background. It's not even all about pigments. They name the pigment one or two times, but they talk about artists and they talk about little did you knows, but not the attention hungry things that happen elsewhere online. Yeah, Mr. The Sentient. Also, that very amethyst watercolor was tested a while back on Instagram by a scientist, a pigment account, World Pigment Day, and they saw a mineral. I thought it was an amount of 70% of or even more of synthetic pigment in those genuine paints. Maybe they what's called maybe they took it off. Maybe they did something with my comment. I don't know. But it's the same with the lapis lazuli thing. I know a few paint makers that use the pigment that I am certain of that is not real, that is being sold as real lapis lazuli. And I don't blame the paint makers. My issue with that is that they can offer it for a lot cheaper than I can because the pigment is a lot cheaper and way more blue than I can ever make it. So there is a bit of like there's a competitive side to it. There's a business side to it. They can offer it for less money. They can offer a bluer version, where I think that's actually not the real thing, and I'm actually quite certain about that. So it's really hard for me in that way because I can't compete with it. That's super simple. I can't compete with that pigment because I cannot make it like that because it is not real. And very good, Gulchen. I'm not the only one. Like all of you have the same thing about that video of Culture Hustle. They're not saying they aren't using the real thing, are they? What's gonna pour? You're a brand ambassador for Daniel Smith. As far as I know, you asked John about the Primatech line, and he said there was a not alternate color added. That is the amethyst. Would love to hear the pigment you were talking on, so I can ask about it. I think back then there were loads of pigments, and this is just from me, from what I've seen, and that's also full honesty. I don't have Primatech paints. That entire thing that happened on Instagram a few years ago happened before I started even looking into mineral paints. And then I saw that I made malachite and lazurite. Yes, but it was proven with pictures from a microscope. It was like the pictures that and it was also Daniel Smith was added, like they add Daniel Smith was added to the was tagged. Wow, I lost the word. It was they were tagged in the post, and it's not only the fact that they enhance the paint, or that was shown that they would enhance the paint with synthetic pigments. It was also the way that they very aggressively, at least from my memories, but please anyone correct me if I'm wrong, they aggressively defended themselves in a way that I think wasn't the way to go. Just going to put it like that. And I'm not taking away that it's not nice paint. I hear loads of people saying it is very nice paint, and I believe it is very nice paint. I believe that some paints from Culture Hustle could be very nice, but this life and this rant is about transparency, about honesty, about decency, about, you know, if you have such a high asking price, I know raw materials are getting more expensive. For me as well, my prices need to go up. I'm already kind of on the expensive side for handmade paint, but literally the way I'm doing stuff and the way I'm trying to help people here with my lives, with my videos, just educate people, teach people about how to make paint. You can make your own paint with my videos. I'm not charging you anything for it. But I'm taking away my own customers in that way. But I'm honest about what I do, how I make paint, and what I put in my paint. And literally, I can't even make I can barely make enough income with what I do to make a living. So a company like that, huge company, Culture Hustle as well, not maybe as huge, but they get enough, trust me. Why lie about things when you have such a loyal fan base in the first place? So this is just me ranting again, and I still have way too many mullers in front of me here. I'm really scared to knock them over, so I'm going to put them back. But oh wow, Paolo, I'm kind of shocked by that. But I don't think they will ever make less sales if they would have just marketed it as a line of paint containing minerals, containing genuine minerals, not only minerals. And that's what gets me from Daniel Smith. And I'm just saying the words out loud here now. That's what I think is a shame for the pigment community, for the people that love paints. And it's not only watercolor paint. It's not handmade. It's not that. It's just people with a passion for pigments and color deserve that truth. Deserve the honesty, especially if you see how much money goes on in that world. So it's for me, I wouldn't say it's emotional, but it gets me because I don't want to build my business from just thinking about how can I make as much money as possible, buying a little bit of the real thing, adding it with a lot of cheap stuff, and selling it for the real thing so I can make loads of money. I'm making a video. This is one thing. I'm making a video about something, but I'm lying for 95% of the time. I'm blowing everything up. I'm doing way too over the top about something, and this gets me 1 million views. It doesn't matter if I'm lying. It does, but as long as it's sensational, as long as it gets people to see me. So whether it is content making, whether it is paint making, whether it is talking with friends about pigment, everyone here, just be honest. And I'm not asking that of you because you're all doing that, as far as I know. Hopefully Paolo wasn't serious about the alien virus. Anyway, honesty and everything that comes with that doesn't make the enjoyment of this passion less. It doesn't make it more if we lie about stuff. It doesn't make me feel better if I make more money with selling fake stuff. And it's yeah. What's the Fuchsite? I don't know how to pronounce that in English. What's that experiment, Mark? Also, and this is just sharing to the few of you who are watching, I got some complaints about my lapis lazuli video because some people are actually wanted me to sell the, spill the tea. What was that company that sells fake lapis? And I shared what I found, shared what I thought about it, but I didn't name a company. And why not? For a very simple reason. A lot of big pigment suppliers that I talk with about this, and I'm talking international, also outside of Europe and here in Europe, no one was willing to start about the subject. Because they were scared of the reactions, and also because the pigment world is too small for this to get. I noticed that they were scared on the phone, in reactions through emails. They didn't want to go there. I don't know for what reason, but if they don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. It was just precaution from my side. Oh, that one, Mark. Yes. Yeah, so that's what I showed in my lapis video as well. A pigment never dissolves in water. That's just a fact. That's not an opinion, not the finer you make it, the more. No, every pigment will settle down if it's mixed with just water. Every pigment. If it's not, and the water is just colored, it is a dye. A dye was used in your paint. It's very simple to test. And if you're using watercolors, it's also easy to test this, because you can see if there's anything floating around, or not even maybe floating around, but if it's coloring your water, a dye was used in your paint. If a mineral was added to make it look real, that mineral will fall down sooner than the synthetic pigment that was used. Probably. There are synthetic pigments that are quite heavy though. it is a very difficult subject for me. And Culture Hustle, what they did as well. It felt personal at a moment. I'm making handmade watercolor paints. I'm designing my own pens. I'm trying to, do I have it here? I really hope I can just quickly now grab it and show it to you. I have an awesome idea that I have wanted to do. I wanted to do for the last 2 years, I think, but I just didn't have the time for it, or I had another idea which took less time, but I had a very awesome idea with historic paints. And seeing this on, just hurts. I don't think, Gulshan, it is a very nice idea, but I don't think the audience for it is large enough. I think. Also, one more thing about the lapis lazuli. One pigment supplier was very curious about what I asked them, and I said, well, is it okay if you send us a sample? Because as competition of the other person, we cannot order from them. They would know, they would suspect something. So can you send us pigment? So I sent pigment from one company. I ordered pigment from one company, tested it, asked someone else, asked a couple of persons, and someone else said, can you send a little bit of that pigment to us as well? And they tested it under the microscope, and they confirmed what I said. They exactly said, yeah, the lab shows this, and that's not real, but we're not going to talk about it. That's so frustrating. Yeah, Sebastian, to test, or just or let them call the company and just ask them why they're not being honest about it. I don't know. I just decided I'm going to put my muller on in a size order. Order. Let me have a look. Definitely not. These are 3 the same. Then I have this, and that this needs to go in the bag. It is like I said all days, I don't own the paint, but the few examples that I've seen, and there were, I think, 3 or 4 that were investigated on the YouTube channel, the Instagram channel. You just said the name, Sebastian. That came out of nothing. Okay. But that it's not that I'm I think we can talk about honesty, and we can talk about those things, and I don't see. Well, in that case, with that channel, I see why it's valuable for that person just stay untruthful or just stay just keep doing the things that the person does, because it works. I mean, it's getting a lot of views and it's getting a lot of followers, so why not, right? But I think that's the wrong way to look at things. Sentient, that is a lot of words that I really need to put in. It is very late here. No, eventually they all sink down. I'm not going to over exaggerate stuff. I'm not doing that. I mean, this is as extreme as I go, having an almost 3-hour rant live about dishonesty and filthy marketing. I don't even want to go here, but yesterday really hit a nerve, and they're not the first ones to do it. But I'm just sticking to what I do. I'm staying honest. After this, I'm staying decent. I'm done with people being so untruthful just to make money. Yeah, but I don't want to hurt businesses. That's the last thing I would want. And like I said about Daniel Smith, I don't have the paint, so I'm just stating what I saw, and I based my opinions on what I've seen, and those were done by scientists, so I trust it. Sorry, I'm just reading the. Gulshan, please do so. Thank you again with the color. Watercolor pour. I'll have a look what I can do for you. I might be able to improve the version, since my my library of pigments has quite grown since the last time I made that. And it's not really a rabbit hole, to be honest. Watercolor pour. I started almost 3 hours ago. I started with ranting about dishonesty and lying within a very aggressive way of marketing, and it wasn't about Daniel Smith. It was about Culture Hustle in this case, and it is just because they literally made claims on the website, and it didn't. They weren't clear at all in the video. Well, they point to the video saying, no, we're saying that in the video. Or to Mr. Pigments, they said, watch the video again, or haven't you watched the video, because we're saying it in the video. They didn't. So and you know, that's what got me. Plus, you know, the way that their marketing works, it works for them. trust me, I think they sell a lot, but it doesn't mean that it's honest what they're doing. Small to big. Yeah, that was a funny comment, Paolo. That is true, but I couldn't really laugh about that because uh, I was too kind of blown away with the video, with the sound of that came out of the out of my phone. I don't know. Marketing wise, I might also not be the best in my job. I know I'm not. Uh, I could have um, showed you more sit here with some terrible swatches of malachite and other green natural colors, um, and sold it to you for way too much money. It is in a very expensive pigment, so and you can look it up. Instead of that, I showed you that it's not. It is a very vibrant natural blue. It's one of the most vibrant natural blues. I showed you that it's real as well under the microscope. But I'm not going to try to convince you that you need to buy it from me because I just want to make money. I'm not. And in a world where I was a better marketing person, a better salesman, I would have sold you the Moss Sit, and I probably could have convinced you to pay a lot of money for this exclusive meteorite green. Yeah, it is really hard, but that's also, it's not only just thank you, Paolo. That um, the way how I can identify real Indian yellow is because I have the pigment compendium here showing real Indian yellow, and it's the only thing that looks like that. If it's called Indian yellow and it looks differently, it is not Indian yellow. That is super simple. If you see with lapis lazuli, it was kind of the same. If it's showing a too even particle size, it's probably not the real thing. There's high chances that it's not the real thing. If it's that, and in combination with all the other stuff that I named, and the confirmation I got from the other company, which I forgot to mention in the video, by the way, we're quite sure it's not the real thing. But it's not easy for a lot of pigments, and also it takes time and a lot of money, not just donations, Sebastian, but a lot of money to get to that level. But there are probably people that do have the knowledge and do have the equipment needed for it, and are willing to do a few, and maybe you can find a few of those people, and all are looking at different pigments and helping in that way. But yeah, it's what? Dusting? It's a difficult subject for people who are looking for honesty, people who are looking for sharing their passion, and then hearing things that just aren't true, they aren't correct. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh yeah. Anyway, it is very late now already again. Hey, what's your list? I'm sending you a message back, by the way. If a watercolorist is still here. Oh yeah. I don't know if it's that. I think that's what the channel is called. I can quickly look it up for you. No, it's not. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm going to. I didn't say that. Um, I can share that with you. Yes, the live stream of the announcement of your as you for you as an artist tomorrow at 9, I think it was. Sebastian. Angel dusting, yes. It's why they have laws for whiskey as well. The age on a whiskey bottle in a blend has to be the youngest whiskey in there. So if you have a whiskey that is 20 years old, the youngest whiskey in that blend is 20 years old. Otherwise, you could just put a drop of 50 or 60-year-old whiskey in a bottle and call it a 60-year-old whiskey. So they have laws to protect us from that. So in a blend, There could be an 80-year-old whiskey in a blend, for instance, but still be a 20-year-old whiskey because there could be a little bit of 20-year-old whiskey in it, which would be the youngest. So I think that's comparable, I think. But luckily for whiskey, there are laws. I really hope it is a good gala tomorrow, Sebastian, and I'm trying to put on the live stream as well. I'm going to try to join that. They show the top 25, and you are within the top 25, so they're going to show your work. I really hope you'll end up where you deserve, Sebastian. I think you are a brilliant artist, so hope you win. I don't know what your competition is, to be honest. But Paolo, for 3 hours, 5 minutes and 48 seconds streaming, ranting and talking, I agree with you. Let's call it an end. Let's call it a night. Sebastian, good luck tomorrow. Have fun as well. And I'm definitely going to try to join the live stream. But please do share in your stories, maybe with a countdown or a link or something, so other people can easily find it as well. Hopefully everyone see you again Wednesday. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live this weekend while just making paint. Now it was literally I made moss sit, just a drop of it, and for the other 3 hours I rented it. I don't know if that's a word, but I think that was enough for quite a while. So good luck, Sebastian, as well. Again, everyone have a great night, a great day, if you are still within daylight time, and hopefully see everyone Wednesday again. Bye, guys.